You want some lats? These things I didn't have before I started training for this competition. What's up, it's Joey Thurman. You want your top 3 lat builders, so latissimus, dorsi. And remember, I didn't say back builders because lats aren't the only part of your back. Your back also includes your lower traps, your rhomboids, your teres minor, your teres major. But lats, if you want that width and you want that V-taper, here's my top 3 movements. Remember, lats, they help with extension and abduction. And when you really want to get the lats, you want to think about driving that elbow in toward your side. And generally speaking, that's going to be a neutral grip where your hands are facing each other. If you have the wrist mobility and elbow mobility, you can do an up grip or supine grip instead of prone here, where you're pulling through and you're keeping those elbows to the side. So we want to think about lengthening through and really getting the lats, you see they're lengthened here, engaged, and we're coming through. So we're getting that teres major as well. But here's my top 3 movements to build those lats. The single arm pull down. Now I really like this for lat training. One, because you can align the lats, and you always want to think about what's happening with that length tension relationship and where the load is coming from. So your lats are strong in that lengthen and that mid range, and they're not as strong in the completely shorten range. So a single arm pull down, you probably have this at your home gym or any gym here. Often the big bar, you can't line up where you can really drive those elbows back. So for me, I'm tall, I'm going to lean back a little bit. If you have something to brace, you can come here. So we're gonna come up, I'm gonna lean back a little bit. So I'm stretching out through the lats here, driving my elbow down into the side and get that nice stretch here and pull through. So I'm really loading through that mid-range position as I'm driving my elbow in. You can have your palm up, supine, if you have that mobility, and really get that stretch. Pause through there. That's your single arm pull down. I'm sure you've seen this here, where it's a straight bar. We're gonna do a lat pull down. Now, pretty much every single commercial gym is going to have this, but a lot of people don't have that shoulder mobility, that wrist mobility to really drive their elbows into the side. If you do, a great lat builder is here, where we can get that alignment and we can really pull those elbows down in through the side. We get that stretch up, so we're loading that mid and lengthened range here, and then really pause in that shortened range. Now, if you have this bar and you want to get that proper alignment, you have a couple options. One, you can use these angles 90, they don't pay me, but yes, I would take your money. These are great. Or you can grab 2 handles here. I'll show you with the handles first. You bring it over the bar. Now you want to have this in line with the direction of pull of your elbows. So you want those elbows coming directly through the side. So make sure they're even. Then we come back here. I'm gonna lean back a little bit. I'm really tall, so some people may need to go down onto their knees. I'm gonna show you here. So I get that stretch, pull down, pause, squeeze, lengthen the lats, get that length in there, mid-range, short range, get that nice squeeze through. Now, if you've got those angles, we simply take these here. This is really good. You just take this, put this on the bar, just like you would with the regular handles, but I like using kind of a fish hook grip with it. So it takes out some of the forearms. Then since I'm tall, I'm gonna come back here, I'm kneeling, I get that stretch up, pull down, really drive my elbows behind me, get that stretch through, drive that chest up, lengthen the lats here so we're loaded. So we've got that stretch median hypertrophy, mid-range, pull through, squeeze down. That is your lat pull down. Chest supported row or a prone row is really good because it's going to take away any sort of movement with it. So you're not using your lower back, we're not coming up, we're not using any sort of momentum. Now, we're gonna come forward here. I'm loading, I like kind of diving into it. So we're getting that stretch through the lats, and that teres is really stretching out as well. So neutral grip here with the palms. Remember, we're lat training. We're thinking about driving that elbow in. I have the weights here. Stabilize yourself. Pull up, bring the elbows past the torso, squeeze that back, get that stretch in. So I kind of have that dive motion. So I feel that stretch in my upper back, but I'm really contracting through the lats. So we get that lengthened position here, mid-range, shorten. That's gonna be the hardest. Really try to get that squeeze through. That is your chest supported row. Lat, baby, boom! Bent over cable row. You can do this with cables, you can do this with dumbbells. Things when you're doing a bent over row, might be like if I'm putting in order top 3. Your spinal erectors are gonna be a limiting factor in it. So if your spinal erectors go, you're really not gonna get as much lat activation because the spinal erectors in particular are going first, and maybe the abdominal bracing. But with this, I like getting it. We get a nice stretch through the upper back as we're coming in, so I'm rounding out through the spine. So we're getting some upper back as well. But I'm thinking about driving that elbow through the side so we really get that lat activation here. So I like to call this a dive, bent over row. So we're stretching forward here, and I come in, pulling in towards my waist. So I am getting some of that extension. So we would build up those erectors as well, which will help the thickness of the back. Reach out, dive in, drive those elbows in through the side. Keep that squeeze through, lengthen, drive, squeeze the butt if you want. A little glute contraction as you're diving, bent over row. This chair doesn't fit me. Need a bigger one. That's better. That's how to build those big lats. I'm Joey Thurman. Hit the button, like, share, troll nicely.